Yo, what's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. Going to be showcasing some Ultra League gameplay here with a really cool team featuring Cetitan, Primeape, and Corviknight. I was wondering what I should run in the Ultra League. Homeslice Henry said, have you tried out Cetitan? And I was like, no, I haven't. So I decided to build one. I had a pretty good one, and this thing pleasantly surprised me in this video that you're going to see. Some really epic games. We start off with a pretty rough game, and it'll show you that things don't always go your way, but you don't immediately give up on the team. Because in this game, we have a bad lead, we have a bad counter swap, as our Corviknight is met by this Ampharos, but we're going to play this out. He reveals Brutal Swing, so probably doesn't have Thunder Punch, and I go for the payback here, and this is not looking great, but you see how bulky Corv is. The payback does a lot. I throw the air cutter to put on some pressure. And I'm thinking, well, if this isn't like an electric attack, I might be able to take this. But then you're going to see me make a terrible mistake. I switch in my Primeape to try and get a head start and snipe the Ampharos. And it gets aligned with a Togekiss. If I literally... And my reaction when this happened, maybe I should make a short out of it, but I literally, it's so frustrating when there's such a clear-cut way you could have won the game, but you messed up. So if I had just not swapped, I could have aligned Cetitan on the Togekiss. I could have had Primeape on the Empoleon. And I mean, it's not a guaranteed win because he theoretically would have been ahead, but we probably win if we do that. So that was a frustrating way to start, but it's important to recognize when you made a mistake that cost you the game versus when the team actually malfunctioned. So that was definitely my mistake. And it looks like we're already in a little bit of a cute time zone. Oh, look at that. I jumped ahead 20 seconds and it was perfect. That's amazing. Okay, here we go. Good lead. Cetitan onto Venusaur. They swap into a Charizard. Okay. And now immediately Charizard is difficult for us to deal with. It kind of beats everything. And we are indeed ABA weak to fire with this team. But there have been some games where we've been able to overcome fire leads. We do correctly shield Blast Burn, which is great. I just go for this Spear immediately to put the pressure on, force him to shield, or let it go. He lets it go. And he comes in with another fire type. And it's a Skeledirge. So I throw the Rage Fist here to start chunking at this Skelly. And he's going to then switch into Venusaur, which is not great by any means. But it's not the end of the world. So I throw the Rage Fist. We're going to start trying to ramp up. Just do as much as we can with our Primeape here. Going for another Rage Fist. I think that might have been a charge attack priority. And Rage Fist is going to put it really low. Oh, it wasn't even... Yeah, so our opponent waited a little bit too long. He waited just until my switch timer came up. It allows me to now catch a Sludge. And my Corviknight gets a farm down. Where now we basically have a 3-on-2. And although this Skeledirge has energy, our opponent didn't feel like he had any play at this point. He just kind of stops tapping. And he has left the building, as we say. He has left the building. I think he has closed the app. He has closed the application. If I were him, I would have still fought this out. Because, if you start ramping up with Torch Song, I feel like there's still some play here, but maybe not. Maybe it was over. Just because we had so much health on our remaining Pokemon. To be fair, we had a full Cetadel, a full Corviknight, so maybe the top left or the app close was warranted there. Searching for the next opponent. And I skipped ahead a little faster, so we didn't see who it was, but... we led into a Walrein, which is an interesting matchup. A good matchup for us because we resist the ice damage and a super effective superpower. He swaps into Ampharos, which I don't have an obvious response to, so I elect to just stay in. Because I still have my Primeape for that Walrein, right? So I don't necessarily need this Cetitan, but I do elect to switch here and start getting ahead with Primeape. Gotta respect whatever this is. It is a Thunder Punch, and he was boosted from the Trailblaze, I believe. So, and then what is this, dude? Another Venusaur. Another Venusaur. What's up with Venusaur? Is he back? Is Venusaur back? I don't know. And what I'm thinking here is I can kind of preserve my Primeape, delay the switch timer in a way where I can pivot out of here and save the Primeape for later. So I throw Close Combat because it hits harder, and then I swap in Corv, and our opponent does bank all that energy. I throw here because I don't want to take a Thunder Punch. So Air Cutter knocks out. He kind of has to come in with Walrein. But I have a little bit of energy on my other Pokemon, I believe. So keep that in mind. Icicle Spear chunking away some neutral damage. Oh, do I have a Close Combat loaded? I don't think so. Maybe I have a Superpower loaded? Oh, I'm 1 away. I knew I was 1 away, so I do an Air Cutter just to stall the clock, and then I can swap, do 1 chop. Swap, do 1 chop. And now we just win, because we still have a fairly healthy Corv where Venusaur would need, like, probably 3 Frenzy Plants to knock out our Corv, so this game's just over. And just going to go for a simple Air Cutter. Shiny Corviknight, by the way. Always nice when you can utilize a shiny Pokemon in PvP. I will say I don't default towards the shinies. I will not sacrifice better IVs to run a shiny unless it's like just having fun and they go battling. Sometimes I think there have been times where maybe I'm like, you know, they're pretty similar. Let's just run the shiny. But if it was competitive, if it was tournament play, there's no way I'm running a bad IV in place of a good IV, even if the bad IV is shiny. Next opponent here. We got 2 full sets in this video, so it's a little bit on the longer side. As we're on the 7-minute mark or so. Feel free to pause, grab a snack, enjoy. We led into a Togekiss there. I kind of zoned out for a sec. We led into Togekiss. They swap in Kyurem, and this is awkward because Glaciate's going to really hurt, and I have allowed a desync in the switch timer. And you see me here, I like instantly do not like this situation because I know if I close combat, he's going to get a nasty farm down with Toge. And I just don't like this at all. So this was an awkward situation from the get-go. And I get pecked down, and I come in with Corv because the Aura Sphere is, of course, going to really hurt our Cetitan. So I'm kind of forced to come in here. But now he just has no reason to switch. He just stays because most likely he's going to have some answer to an ice type in the back. And then I swap. Oh, I don't shield. What? Why are we not shielding? Oh, it's a Primeape in back. Yikes. I throw Superpower, I guess, to give him less farm. And we do fight this out. Yeah, I think I remember how this plays out. So Primeape has like 6. I kind of have to respect the close combat. Just throws Rage Fist. I like to Air Cutter immediately to take less chop damage because I'm not quite in Aura Sphere range yet. I knock him out. I get the boost, and I go for a potential win condition here of landing the Payback because Payback does more damage even when resisted than the Air Cutter, but it's not quite enough. So I would have needed to get to triple Air Cutter here. I would have needed to get to triple Air Cutter, but I don't think that would have happened because I basically only reached Air Cutter plus Payback there, as you see, and triple Air Cutter is more energy than Air Cutter plus Payback. So I think I made the right call and just wasn't quite enough to get the win in the end. Well played by the opponent. And who we got next? Let me know in the comments how you guys are enjoying this interlude season. What are you running? What hidden elo are you at? Your elo does appear like when you claim your sets and stuff. Dusk Noir. So this is an interesting matchup. And this is a Hex Dusk Noir. So a little bit weird. Gonna be 4 to the first Dynamic Punch. I throw here after 1 Powder Snow for good timing. He also baited me with Shadow Punch, which is diabolical. I do get off my second attack first, which is nice, because now I can force a shield, most likely. And he settles for bad timing, which is helpful for me. Because he didn't really need to do that. But now I'm 1 away. And I'm not entirely sure with my counts here, to be honest. But he lets it go, so I feel like he kind of makes my life easier. He comes in with a Moltres. And I think I threw on 6 right before the fly. And I'm just going to stay in here. I grabbed the shield, and now he did 2 extra, so he's 4 away. And I know he can't really afford to let me get to that close combat. So I pull a little tricky play here. I come in, I do 4, and I catch onto my Corviknight, since that's when he's kind of forced to throw. And as you're going to see, he just elects to stay in here, because Galarian Moltres is not really threatened by Corviknight. It's resisted sand attacks. The Air Cutter doesn't hit very hard, as we know. So he builds up a ton of energy. He saves the energy. And I think I identify a win condition here, which is kind of nasty. Well, first I get the boost, and I'm hoping he throws energy and doesn't like build up too much on me, because I don't want Primeape to have to eat like multiple sludge bumps. I come in with Primeape. I know he's still switch locked momentarily, and at this point I'm at close combat plus Rage Fist, and I figure I can simply close combat immediately and then throw Rage Fist immediately, which will put him into the Air Cutter range that I have loaded. So could I have done like one more and maybe just gone double close combat? Probably. But sometimes you have to recognize like it's unnecessary to take that chance. And you just go with the 100% win condition that you recognize. So I really liked how we played this game. I thought we made some clever plays there with the fly catch first, and then the over farm and the immediate close combat at the end to just kind of secure the victory. We get a win, and was that a 3-2 set? What was that? Let's go, Rise. Let's claim your stuff. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're staring at a little leap. No one wants to see Laleep. Sorry, Laleep. Yeah, 3-2. And 2389 at this time. And it's straight on to the next one. Should be 5 more battles, I think. And kind of insane that we're seeing queue times already at this elo. It's kind of blowing my mind. Maybe less people are playing during this interlude season. Went a little bit too far. There we go. Cetitan into Ferrothorn. Interesting matchup. All 3 of my Pokemon have play here. Primeape would probably be the best matchup, but Cetitan does have access to Superpower. That's pretty good. I think he built up to the Flash Cannon here. He did 7. So I do respect it. And it's just a Power Whip. Now I go for Superpower here. Super effective. Bang, it lands. I go for the Spear here to bake, because I know he's like at 5. So I figure he might want to save this energy. And then I go for a catch onto my Corviknight. So hoping that I caught a Power Whip here. Pretty nice catch, double resisted. We save that energy. In comes a Hippowdon. So luckily for us, we don't get like hard punished by anything. This is a pretty neutral matchup. Neutral Ice Fangs, Rock Weather Ball, and all our attacks are going to hit for neutral here. Going for the Payback, harder hitting move. And Payback connects. Puts this Hippo kind of low. Oh, and I think I play kind of devious here. Instead of using my energy here, I save the energy. I swap directly into Cetitan. And I'm met by a Tentacruel. Now, suddenly this has gone from looking comfortable to not so comfortable. Because this Tentacruel just walls our energy. And Tentacruel has been one of the more difficult Pokemon to navigate with this team. Because if I can't get Corviknight on it, it does beat both of my remaining Pokemon pretty hard. But Cetitan is so bulky, and Icicle Spear is now quite efficient, where it can still put up a fight here. It's kind of annoying for Tentacruel to deal with. You're seeing with spamming off all these Icicle Spears, I'm putting in a little bit of work here. Do I bank this or do I just throw it? I went to the last second to throw, maybe almost daring him to like throw energy at me. And then I combo with the Air Cutter. Unfortunately, he throws immediately, and he's got a ton of energy. But I think I end up deciding to put this all on my Primeape and go for a chop down, knowing he might get to an attack here. Already has the attack, so he was at 100 energy. And we shield the Scald, In comes Hippo. And I throw the Rage Fist because I had kind of lost track of Hippo. So I wanted to guarantee a boost. And I get the shield as well. And he doesn't even get there. So a bit of a mistake by the opponent. I think he must have been committing to like a Scorching Sands there. But he probably only reached a Rock Weather Ball. So just elected not to throw it. Which makes sense, right? What would a Rock Weather Ball really do there for him? Sometimes you got to commit to that win. Plus the Ferrothorn was fairly low, right? So I think we would have just chopped it down because the Ferrothorn had already taken a Superpower earlier. Maybe like Rock Weather Ball plus Power Whip would do something, but I don't know. Next battle. All right. Cetitan into Victory Bell. Good lead. I mean, we've got two answers for this. He swaps in Blastoise, and I'm not entirely sure if there's like a preferred way to play this matchup as Primate, but we resist the rollout damage. Plus in the Ultra League, you can take the move a little bit better. So I don't necessarily need to shield Hydro Cannon. And our opponent, recognizing that, pulls a devious Skull Bash. But as you see, even the Skull Bash, not doing enough where it looks like I'm in jeopardy of getting farmed down. But I have to be careful to not allow him to snipe me with the Victory Bell. I need to keep this energy and ideally get this matchup where he tries to quickly swap and I get my Corviknight now on the Victory Bell, which is great for us. Super dominant matchup. And the one concern here is, you know, he might have another answer to Cetitan in back. So I do want to keep that in mind. But you can't really turn down this matchup. Since it's so dominant for Corviknight. He builds up a lot, almost like he wants me to throw so he can dip out. He comes in Blast. And then I actually am going to start to like just tank energy on my Cetitan, it looks like. Okay, really hoping that Icicle Spear knocks out, because if he lives this and gets off a move, that'd be bad. But I got the shield, so that's totally fine with us. Totally fine. Take the Hydro Cannon. Switch Clock's not quite up. I take 3 rollouts. You could argue a slight mistake because I didn't think I needed to take... I don't think I needed it. But I guess I put myself lower for a farm, so maybe that was actually the right play. And then his switch timer is up, so I got to be careful. And we're luckily expecting it. And now I have the close combat banked. So all I need to do is get this Licky Licky in close combat range, and we're chilling. And Licky Licky's going to need at least 2 Shadow Balls to knock me out. So we're in a pretty comfortable position. Payback connects. Yeah. I think after I take this move, I decide just to throw immediately to just guarantee the damage. I assumed Corviknight would win CMP here, but I'm actually not entirely sure. 2 very bulky Pokemon. And then I combo with the big close combat. Close combat to seal the deal. Bang. Knocks out Licky Licky. Licky Licky Licky, can't you see? Oh, wait a sec. I don't know about that. Here we go. We get another win. And it's on to the next one. I'm getting a little bit too excited here. Sorry for the extra skip. Another opponent. And it's a Lapras. Interesting matchup. All 3 of our Pokemon have play here. Now, because my ice damage is double resisted, it doesn't feel like a matchup I want to like play out for a long time. So I think what I decided to do is take the attack and just Superpower immediately. And this way, I can pivot out of here, get some nice damage, or the shield. Low battery. Uh-oh. Charger battery, guys. And I'm going to shield the Sparkling Aria here. Pretty efficient attack. In comes a Virizion, and I am not upset about this matchup at all. I mean, I feel like this isn't that bad for Primate. They take the Rage Fist, and then I go for the CC. I go for the CC here. This would do massive damage, and it lands. And at this point, I'm just going to shield because I can chop this thing down before it gets to a second attack. And I do. And now Lapras comes back, and I decide to build up one. I I think I built up to double Rage Fist here, so I'm one shy of the close combat, and I get there. Maybe they were just felt like they had to commit to a farm down to give themselves a chance. But it's a Drapion and back, and oh baby, met by the Corviknight. So this game went really well. Everything kind of went right for us this game. Him taking that close combat on the Virizion was a big moment as well. And just going straight air cutter here. I think the opponent kind of recognizes it's over. I don't know if they even bother throwing energy here. Yeah, they just kind of stop tapping. Corviknight flapping away. Flapping its wings. And we're 3-0 this set. Can we make it a 4-0 or even a perfect 5-0 set? Let's see. Rank 20 in this interlude season. Rank 20 is indeed the highest rank, but you do have a hidden elo. So you can kind of like, I guess, pseudo try to hit legend. It doesn't really matter this season, but you can still try to hit that 3,000 elo mark. Empoleon, tough lead. And like our first battle of the day, right? We saw this, and I remember that there was a Togekiss in back, and I'm like, okay, that seems like it could be a common pairing. So I'd still want to swap my... Corv because in case there was a Togekiss, like, I don't want to swap Primeape and then get hard countered by a Togekiss. That's probably not going to be... We're probably not going to be able to overcome that situation. But in comes a Zygarde, so pretty interesting. And he outrages me, which tells me he's probably running Outrage Earthquake, most likely. And I'm thinking, I wonder if I can get a shield advantage here. So I'm not going to shield this, because I don't want to go down shields anyway with Primeape. And unfortunately, it does knock me out, but it does supply a nice Powder Snow down, and our opponent doesn't want that. So he gives up Switch, and now we have Primeape on Empoleon. Suddenly, we have a lot more play here. I just decided to Rage Fist immediately because I want to ramp up. Because we know how dangerous Primeape can be when it starts to ramp up. And then I throw on Charge Attack Priority. I figure he might shield here to get off his move, but no, he actually just lets it go. And it's an Armored Mewtwo. But keep in mind, I am super boosted. I am double boosted. He's kind of got to shield these Rage Fist. And he tries to catch. But this just makes my life a little bit easier because I'm able to now get more farm on Cetitan. And basically, if I can put it in Rage Fist range and grab the final shield, I am going to win because I have that Rage Fist loaded, and I'll always win Charge Attack Priority with Primeape on Armored Mewtwo. And man, this Powder Snow plus Icicle Spear damage is adding up pretty quick, even against such a bulky Pokemon. Dynamic Punch connects, but I'm only one away from the next Spear, so I'm feeling pretty good here. Should be able to get this one to land, this one to peel the final shield, and have the Rage Fist loaded on Mr. Primeape. We're just going to combo play. I think our opponent even threw a move there, anticipating I was going to swap, but we had the move loaded, so like I said, we win that Charge Attack Priority, of course. Primeape very high attack. Armored Mewtwo, not as much. And we got one final battle here for you folks to try and clear with the 5-0. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, comment down below. All comments help out the YouTube algorithm, but we got one battle. Luigi Gold Star. Cetitan into Ampharos. Seen quite a few Ampharos. I didn't realize Ampharos is like such a fan favorite. Because when I was asking you guys what Pokemon you want to see me run, Ampharos was like one of the most common picks, maybe the most common. He built up to 4, I think that was. I'm going to take this. Ampharos is one of those leads that's been a little tricky because a lot of the times switch advantage ends up mattering. So like, as I don't really love shielding this. Oh, but look at this situation. This is great. I'm at double superpower and he's still one Dragon Breath away, so I can simply fire off both of these. And Kyurem is not the bulkiest in the Ultra League, so look at that. Pretty big damage. And I can swap into my Corviknight here to soak this better than Primeape. I guess I could have like gone Primeape 2 and maybe get the chop down before before 2. But I decided to come in Corv, where I'm not really forced to shield anything. Go for the Air Cutter here on the Overfarm. Knocks out. In comes Florges, so this is a little bit scary. And keep in mind, I'm double debuffed, so I actually swap my Primeape into the Florges. Rage Fist immediately. He does an extra, so he's at 6. He goes up to like 9 or so. I'm going to respect the Moonblast here. And I'm anticipating a potential catch, so I try to wait in between the Fairy Wind here to avoid that catch from happening. Rage Fist grabs the final shield. Oh, and I make a mistake. I just felt like the catch was too obvious there, so I don't throw my move, which would have just won the game on the spot. But it's not over yet. And I anticipate that he's going to swap. He has a move. I catch the move. It's not over till it's over, chat. Catch the Chilling Water. Have the payback, which does a little bit more raw damage than the Air Cutter. And 1 Sand Attack afterwards gets him for a pretty epic finish. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, share it with your friends. That was a pretty epic last battle there, wasn't it? And hopefully more to come. All that said, thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.